getting outside is one of the best ways for not only like physically, but also mentally, I think, as well, just to get out. So that's a big one.
Sure.
Welcome, everyone, to today's talk. Usually we do a Thursday, but Jilisa and I were actually doing something we're going to talk about today. Yesterday, we were outside enjoying our fitness, doing some fat biking, and it was a blast, but happy to be here on this wonderful Friday. I just got some feedback really quick. That's why I stuttered a little bit. So today we're talking about tips and tricks on how not to let your weekend derail your fitness progress or your results. And who wants to start?
I will. I think this is a super important topic because I think a lot of people are getting the hang of like doing a really good job during the week of implementing healthy habits, maybe getting into a routine with working out, nutrition, but it's really easy for us to like not plan at all what we're going to do on the weekend. And then that can easily end up being a free for all kind of a feeling, or, when you don't plan, then it's really easy to just kind of let everything go. And then you feel like you're starting fresh on Monday, and it can kind of develop into a bit of a rough cycle. So if you're not thinking about how you're going to spend your weekend, or if you don't have any plans in terms of your meals or nutrition or activity or how you're going to rest, then you're definitely not making the most of your health and your fitness and the habits that you already are implementing during the week. So I'll start by just talking a little bit about the nutrition piece of it. I would say 9 times out of 10, people that I talk to do great during the week or have their planning and habits down during the week. And as soon as Friday night hits, it's like, I completely forgot how to eat anything good. And it could be that you're just not planning, or it could also be that you are so strict and, I guess strict or restrictive during the week that the weekend then feels like a free for all, or you get so excited because it's like, oh, I was so good during the week that I can just eat whatever I want on the weekend. So I think it's really important to kind of assess your week as 7 days, not as 5 days, and start to plan in some like fun and exciting things to eat during the week so that it's not just like a weekend of that free for all feeling of like, oh, I have to eat everything that I like before Monday because on Monday I'm back to my diet. And that's never a good feeling because, for one, we dread Mondays enough as it is. If you like get to Monday and you think like, oh, I can't eat anything fun again until Friday, that's even more of a drag. So I work a lot with my clients in like planning in fun foods and just meals of joy and happiness. And it really does help so that the weekends don't become just like a complete free for all or write off. And I've had multiple clients say like, it's so nice going into Monday, not feeling like I'm starting over or not feeling like that like dread of, man, I can't eat anything fun until next Friday. So I think my advice would be start to look at your week as a whole. So not 5 days, not Monday to Friday, but Monday to Monday or however you want to look at it, and actually assess like, when am I having those cravings? What does my weekend look like? Can I plan a little bit different? And if you're really lost in how to do this, you can send me a message and I can help. But yeah, start thinking of your week as a whole and not as like weekdays, weekend, and try and do some planning for that as well. You're at.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind of like avoiding extremes, right? If we think about like on the weekend, we go to bed really late and we know that morning. So,
Wait, you?
well, I mean, if you go to bed really late,
No. Okay, yeah. I
yeah,
thought you
like
were
I
like,
fall asleep right away. I fall asleep right away.
at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I fall asleep right away. But knowing if I wake up early pretty consistently during the week, and I know if I stay up late, morning Matt is going to have a really rough time. And you want to be able to, like you said, it's the same thing with your sleep habits and enjoying food and stuff. You want to be able to enjoy that sometimes. You just have to almost have a pep talk the night before saying, morning Matt's going to hurt a bit and it's your fault. And I like to talk to myself in that way, as long as you know that you're going to try to get, or you're going to get back to the same consistent wake up time the next day or the week after. And it's going to be a little bit harder. So when you have extremes anywhere, like you're talking about, Jilisa, it's like a pendulum, right? It's going to go so far this way, it's going to affect the rest of the week. And that's why one of our key words for the year is consistency. It's better to just be consistent than perfect during the week and then kind of derail everything else, because it just comes down to investing your time, right? 168 hours in the week. It doesn't really, yeah. You like my math there really quick? Are you checking it?
No, I'm just surprised that you know exactly that, but I guess.
Yeah, 168 hours. The time doesn't really, it doesn't care if it's Saturday or Sunday. It's just a consistent time across. So I know, Tom, you had mentioned talking about, we want to talk about getting outside and having some fun that way.
Yeah, that's another one, like to not feel like, especially in the wintertime, I think we can feel like we're on the weekends when you don't necessarily need to maybe go out anywhere. You don't need to go to work, or you don't need to, I don't know, go shopping or anything like that. I know a lot of people do get out and go shopping, maybe for groceries and whatnot on the weekend. That's a really good, another habit to get into, which we'll probably talk about a little bit later. But just the act of getting outside and like going for a walk and getting some fresh air is something that can help keep you on track, because obviously it gets you moving. You don't necessarily need to hit like a super hard workout. Like if you worked out 3 or 4 times throughout the week, you don't necessarily need more. Everybody's a little bit different in that regard as to what kind of volume they can handle for working out. But just that plays into kind of like the rest and recovery piece as well. Like you're talking about sleeping, and obviously nutrition goes into it as well. But you do get a little bit of extra movement that's not way too strenuous.
Mhm.
And so you do get your heart rate up there a little bit. Or if it's like nice outside and you want to go for a weekend like bike ride, or I don't know what else is there. You could go for canoe or something, or paddle or whatever. I
In
don't
the
know, wherever
summer.
you live. Summertime, not right now. Let's go maybe
We
like
could try, put some blades on the bottom of it. You're good to go.
yeah. Skiing. I don't
Yeah.
know, cross country skiing, something that's, I mean,
Snowshoeing.
no shoeing. Just get out there. And I think just the act, I mean, that's something that I've worked on with a couple people as well, just the act of getting outside a little bit every day, because especially in the wintertime, it can feel like you get like, yeah, like especially these last couple of years, like you get cabin fever almost. And getting outside is one of the best ways for not only like physically, but also mentally, I think as well, just to get out. So that's a big one.
Nature is the best medicine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the key medicines. And I think I was thinking as you're talking there, Tom, that all this has to do with not losing sight of what eating well and exercising is about. It's not just about eating and exercising to look a certain way. That's a byproduct and that's awesome. But it's actually about getting more of your life, being a better person to those around you, right? And feeling functional, and being able to then, when you work out during the week, get outside and enjoy it, play new sports, try new things. And if you build up this buffer, this hedge, if you're consistent throughout the week, if you miss some things, you're gonna be fine, right? You're gonna bounce right back. It might be a little bit harder if you've had too much pizza, as an example. Some days I'm like, well, maybe a little too much pizza.
That's never.
I bounce up. I bounce back.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts, team?
Was that all of them?
I think so. Avoid extremes, stay consistent, planning. So planning, meaning we talked about protein last time, that protein is one of the hardest macronutrients to get into your diet, but it's, I think, one of the most important because it's hard to get in. So plan that, pre-cook things, all this different stuff. Planning is a big deal. I know we actually stole this idea from Tom and his wife, Darby. Me and Jilisa have started doing Chenard HQ meetings every Sunday. So we go through each other's schedules. We say, hey, when can we work out this week? Matt, when can you make supper this week? All these different things, right?
Walking the dog.
Yep.
When can we hang out together?
Yep.
All the good things.
Because I think all these important things in life I'll get a little more abstract here. All these important things in life still need to be invested into, and you have to be accounting for them. You have to be able to say, hey, I am investing in my relationships, in my mental, my spiritual, my physical health. And a good way to do that is how I do it, is we have habit trackers for our coaching clients. And it's really cool to see their deposits every single day, what they're investing into, and also having a calendar so you can see how much time you're spending in each area. So if you are spending too much time binge watching Netflix, you are knowingly taking time away from something important, or unknowingly, right? You're sacrificing time in some other aspect of your life. Just like evening Matt and morning Matt, they kind of argue sometimes.
Yeah. I feel like evening Matt doesn't exist because you're like asleep by 8. It's a very short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a testament. So 4 years ago, I couldn't sleep more than 3 hours. I was really struggling, and I solidified my routine, have a bunch of different sleep hacks. And now I fall asleep like that, and I sleep through the night. It's wonderful, but annoying when we try to watch movies together. So
super annoying when you have their mouth too. That's for a different podcast. Never mind.
Tom, any closing tips or thoughts?
I think we covered it, but I think I posted. Did I make it for today? I wonder if I did, or yesterday. Yeah, I think so. Like your who you're going to be is formed by your daily habits. You're not created in a day, right? So like back to these habits, that's what it all comes down to, right? And applying them still over the weekend. I think quite often, because we think of, maybe we typically work Monday to Friday, so there's that routine, and then the weekend seems completely separate. And like Jilisa said, it can feel like a free for all. But I think if we account for some of these things that we've talked about and implement some of them in, it doesn't mean you can't have fun weekends or for fun. You got your free time back, like invest. But in that same regard, like invest that time into the things that are important to you, because you have the time to do that. Right? You have more time to invest into your family or your kids, or prep for the week and set yourself up for success each and every time. So
yep,
love it.
very wise, Tom.
Very wise.
Very wise.
Thanks for joining, everyone. We're going to start pre-planning, we're going to release what we're talking about earlier in the week. And if you have any suggestions, anything you want us to talk about, questions, make sure you reach out to us, and we're happy to help wherever we can.